then we must say, once more, I welcome you to Radio Biafra. This is Sunrise, and the time now is 9 minutes past the hour of 5 in the holy and blessed land of Biafra. Today is the 13th day of February 2024. 13th day of February. It was just yesterday that we started this new year 2024, and already we are on the 13th day of February 2024. Therefore, it is important that I make you understand how time flies. You see how this year has been going, and before you know it, it's already December, and it's 2025. Before you know it, it's 2025. Therefore, I need to encourage each and every one of us, whatever that we want to do, let us do it now. Whatever thing that we want to do, let us do it now. Let us not wait for tomorrow. The way time flies, who knows when the tomorrow is coming? The way time flies, there is no need to wait anymore. Whatever that we have to do, whatever we have to contribute towards the growth and progress, towards the success of our advancement, then we must do it now. No waiting for tomorrow. There is no need to wait for tomorrow. So once more, I welcome you. I say thank you very much for being part of this program this morning. And this morning, we will be looking at certain issues. But first of all, let me acknowledge our leader, Onyendu Mazi Kanu, Ohamadike Biafra. Mazi Kanu is the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. He is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Mazi Kanu, as we know, is currently in the DSS dungeon. Therefore, I call for his release this morning. I call on Nigeria government to obey the ruling of various courts of competent jurisdiction, which declared the abduction and continued incarceration of Mazi Kanu illegal and a crime against humanity. Mazi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, was abducted from Kenya by Nigeria government on the 19th of June 2021. Mazi Kanu was tortured in Kenya for 8 days, after which he was forcefully brought into Nigeria, and since then he has been unlawfully held in the dungeon of the DSS in Abuja. You may recall that on the 20th of July 2022, the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention declared that the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Kanu is a violation of international human rights conventions, and also ordered his immediate and unconditional release. It is such a shame that Nigeria government has continued to snub this opinion, just like they have done to the ruling of various courts in Nigeria. Various courts that discharged and acquitted Mazi Kanu. Instead, they have pursued every effort to inflict severe physical and psychological torture on this innocent man. Now, recall that it is this same government that is today inflicting physical and psychological torture on this man that in 2017, September 14 of 2017, set plans into action to assassinate this same innocent man, Mazi Kanu. This is despite Mazi Kanu's case being in their court. This was Mazi Kanu was supposed to appear in their court few hours later. They attacked him to kill him. Thankfully, Mazi Kanu managed to escape, but the Nigeria government ended up killing at least 28 people in his home. Yesterday, one of our brothers reminded us that the number of people killed on that fateful day, on that day, was over 28. Way more than 28. A lot more than 28. And he is right. He is right. Hence, it is important to let you understand that imagine even 28 is more than enough. It's more than a lot. 28 people being killed by the Nigeria government, a terrorist government, is more than enough. That is why you wonder the difference between the Nigeria government and Mieti Yala. You wonder the difference between the Nigeria government and Fulani terrorists. Fulani terrorists are out there parading about, but those who are campaigning for a peaceful, democratic process to be allowed are in their dungeon, are being called terrorists. This is the state of Nigeria. This is the state of affairs in the zoo. The Zoological Republic is not a place fit for human habitation, and Mazi Nnamdi should be released as soon as possible because he did not commit any crime. It is Nigeria government that has been committing crimes against this innocent man. What crime did he commit? He asked for a referendum. And the Nigeria government say that a call for a referendum is a call for war. What type of a government is that? What type of a democratic government is that? That goes to show that Nigeria is not a democratic country. That goes to show that what is happening in Nigeria is a set out plan, a plan that has been marshaled out, a plan that has been strategically done in order to ensure that the people there do not survive, in order to ensure that the people are killed, people are abducted, in order to ensure that people do not have the right to speak, in order to ensure that people are finally subjugated. This is the highest act of wickedness. This is the highest act of man's inhumanity to man. The story of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a story of an innocent man who saw Nigeria for exactly what it is, a crime against humanity. Because of his honesty, he tried to ensure the survival of his race. He embarked in creating awareness concerning the hellhole that Nigeria is and the hellhole that this contraption is falling into rapidly, I must say. And today, like a prophet, that's all the things that he has said are unfolding before our eyes. Nigeria is in a state where it cannot escape from terrorism. It cannot escape from terrorism. And the crazy thing is that it is the government that is propagating, funding this terrorism. The Nigeria government funding terrorism. That is why the state has been rendered incapacitated by terrorists. When you look at Nigeria, thousands and thousands of Biafrans are illegally held at different dungeons operated by the Nigeria government. Why? Because they simply demanded for a democratic process called a referendum. Simply because they demanded for a democratic process called a referendum. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released because he did not commit any crime. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime known to law. So why is he in the DSS dungeon? Whereas people who are busy killing each other, killing their fellow Nigerians, people who they say are their fellow Nigerians, and they are being funded by the government. Now, let us listen to what Onyendo Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said about his quest for the restoration of Biafra, which is the liberation of the black man, actually. Let us listen to what he said about it as we get into today's program. Thank you very much.
Nchiwu osote onye isi n'obodo Nigeria. Ọ mgbe m nọ n'ụlọ ikoni ka m ga-etinye ha n'aka akwụkwọ si ha agaghị m emezi Biafra ọzọ. Unu bịa ka mgbara unu odibo ka ndị ọzọ si agbara ha odibo. Ha rịọrọ m njụ nsị na aga m ahapụ nwere onwe nna azọ. Kwee n'ihi ndị ya niile maka ọdịmma nke ha nwa na nke ụmụ ha ma nke ụmụ ha ga-abịa n'ihi na agwara m ha okwu m sị ha oge mgbe Zik a na-agwa Zik mgbe ọ na-eji ike na-akọwara Zik si ya na ebe ị na-aga n'ụzọ adịghị ya ọ na-efe isi kpakakpaka mba ọwọ Naijiria ka anyị gaa n'ihu ka anyị gaa n'ihu lekwa ọnọdụ anyị n'ụbọchị nke taa na-akọwakwara ndị ya sị ha ihe Aziki mere mgbe mbụ tinye anyị n'ụmị anyị nọ n'ime ya n'ụbọchị nke taa ọkwa ihe unu na-eme kedu ụzọ nwanne Nnamdi Kanu si na-eme ya na-emeju ya unu kọwara m ka m ghọta na m sị ma unu arụghị ogbe nke abụọ gafere River Niger na unu ga-arụ okporo ụzọ unu ga-emezi ebe niile ebe ụmụaka na-agụ akwụkwọ ọ ga-emezi ya emezi ọma mma ụlọ ọgwụ a ga-arụzi ya arụzi a ga-enwe ọkụ mmiri ga na-agba ọ ga-adịrị onye ihu na mma dịrị onye azụ na mma kedu ụzọ m si mejọ ndị dị etu a asị m na ụzọ m si na-eme ya na ọ dịghị mma njọ ha sị mbụ ngwa agha onwenye m gbara egbe onwenye m gburu mma onwenye m gbara ụta akwa sọsọ ozi ọma Chineke si m gbasa n'igwe okwu ka m na-agbasa kezie ka o si metụta unu ọ bụ gịnị mere unu a na-asị ka akpọta Nnamdi Kanu ka egbuo ya ọnụ ọkwa na gịnị mere ndị herdsmen na-egbusi ndị mmadụ n'ugwu Awụsa ndị gọvanọ ha n'ugwu Awụsa kpọbe ka abịa gbusie ha inu anunugo na onwe onye na-achị ugwu Awụsa gọvanọ pụtara sị ka egbusie ndị herdsmen unu anunugo na onwe onye Yoruba pụtara na sị ka egbusie ndị OPC ọgwụ na sọsọ ndị Igbo n'ihi na unu na-agba leka ka unu ga-agbara ndị Fulani odibo onye pụta sị ka agbara Fulani odibo onye nsị na mụ abụọ Nnamdi Kanu agaghị m agbara Fulani odibo ha nwere ha kwesịrị gbara mụ odibo ihe na-esere mụ na ha ihe na-eme na ndị be anyị wụ na ha na-aghọtachi anyị na-eme ọfụma ịjụọ ha sị na m chọrọ ikewapụ Biafra n'ime Naijiria na ọ bụghị ihe ziri ezi na iwu obodo ha akwadoghị ya nna ajụ ha sị ya kee ụzọ m chọrọ isi ime ya asị na ọwụ ka aga mee ntuli aka elu anyị bịanyecha aka atụcha vootu aga na ebe a na-eme iwu anọrọ akpa ya ekwekọrịta anyị gawa n'iru njụọ ha ndị na-eme iwu obodo Naijiria mmadụ ole si Kano steeti pụta 44 ọ bụ mmadụ ole na-emekwe n'iwu a si Abia Imo na Bayelsa pụta ha erughị sọsọ Kano steeti ọ bụzi ụzọ dị aṅaa ka ị ga-esi wee nweta ihe a ibu n'obi ebe ndị ọwa anyị na ha na-awụ nọchiri egwu agara agbachi ụzọ nọchi ebe niile efe adịghị ụzọ adịghị obere ihe unu kwesịrị ịrụ unu anaghị arụ ya nwatakịrị ihe wụ ogbe nkịtị ebe na-ebute mmanụ na-ebute ukoro ọkụ ike a na-ebupụ na-akpata ego bekee wee na-eri ndị ugwu Awụsa ji na-eleta onwe ha mma wụnaba anyị ka o si dị okporo ụzọ nkịtị na ama nru Ọnịcha ruo Enugwu kezi ihe ọzọ ị na-akọwara m ọ bụ gịnị ka imepụta were ga-eme m ga-eji wee nwee ntụkwasị obi ebe ị nọ n'ihe ị na-ekwu na ị ga-emenwu ya na ọwa eziokwu ihe IPOB na makwa nnukwu isi ka anyị na-enupụ isi nkwenekwa na-ekwu na ilu a na-atụ n'Igbo a sị mgbe ụfọdụ mgbe okorobịa nkwene ka onye ara na-alụ nwunye nwaanyị ọkwana ihe anyị na-eme na mmegbu anyị na-emegbu anyị na ọ karịala na ihe a na-eme anyị na ọ dịghị mma ekunye agbagbu anyị ege ebe a akpọ ejide ebe anyị na-azụ ahịa laa ya n'iyi ha nwa na onwe ha enweghị ihe ha pụrụ ime ha niile na-agbara ndị Fulani odibo bịakwute nna gị okwu sị nna gị okwu ana m enupụ isi nsị ha mmụọ awụ Nnamdi Kanu na m agbara ha odibo uru ha bụ m ka mụ na ha mee ya ha ajụ ọjị na-eso enweghị ihe ọzọ Nnamdi Kanu na m agbara ha odibo uru ha bụ m ka mụ na ha mee ya ha ajụ ọjị na-eso enweghị ihe ọzọ
Yeah, thank you for being part of this program. I have been wanting to play that clip, especially the end part where, because this is a combination of two clips. One is an interview. Then the other one is a public address where he was addressing our people publicly. So I have always wanted to play the second one where he addressed the people based on the structure of IPOB and the responsibility that he has in IPOB. I wanted to do that, but I don't think it is necessary for me to address it there because the information is very clear. He said, before you ask me, go and ask IPOB because I am not here on my own. I am not here because I want to be here. I am here because this is a message that IPOB sent me to deliver. He said, this is a message that IPOB sent me to deliver, not a message that my friends sent me to deliver or my family sent me to deliver or that this or that person sent me to deliver. No. He said, this is a message that IPOB sent me to deliver. It is very, very important that we understand what Onyendu is talking about. And it is very, very important that we understand what he is talking about. I will play it one more time before we begin. We go right into the news. I will just play it just one more time before we go into the news. And listen to what he said from here. I will play from the BBC clip interview where he said that he's not serving the Fulani people. No, that Habara Hodibo. Which means IPOB did not send him to be a servant of the Fulani people, but for the liberation, the restoration of Biafra. Let us listen to this part once more.
ị ga-abịa bịakwute nna gị okwu sị nna gị okwu ana m enupụ isi nsị ha mmụọ awụ Nnamdi Kanu na ma gbara ha odibo uru ha bụ m ka mụ na ha mee ya ha ajụ ọ na-eso onweghị ihe ọzọ.
Okay, and it is clear that has been cleared out now. It is clear that the mission that Onyendu is a mission that IPOB sent him on. It is very, very clear from what he said. Therefore, I once more call on the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is an innocent man who deserves justice. This is an innocent man who deserves justice. The Nigerian system has failed. The Nigerian system has failed not only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but every Nigerian. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents the injustice that is prevalent in the Nigerian system. Actually, the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu makes it clear that what we are fighting for is something that we must continue fighting for until we get it. It means what the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu clearly shows that we have no other place to go to, that we must continue on this path. Now, Nigeria is not helping the interest of Nigerians, that is for sure. Nigeria should not continue to exist, that is for sure. Nigeria is a threat to the security of lives and properties of Nigerians, that is for sure. Even to people who are not Nigerians, that is for sure. Nigeria poses a great threat to the security of trade in that region, that is for sure. So why is Nigeria still in existence? Why is Nigeria still standing? Because it is beneficial to some people. Now, let us go to those who are benefiting from Nigeria. This is from Icons News. Let me bring you this from Icons News, and it says, summary of the British government-sponsored and supervised genocide against Biafran people. It says, summary of the British government-sponsored and supervised genocide against Biafran people. And it says, summary of the British government-sponsored and supervised genocide against Biafran people, aka Nigerian Biafran Civil War. Nigerian Civil War in chronological order, we shall never forget. 1. December 1964, federal elections. 2. October 1965 regional elections. 3. Post-election violence in Western Nigeria, 1965-1966. 4. The military takes over the government, January 1966. 5. Anti-Ironsi demonstrations and killing of Igbos in the north, April-May 1966. 6. Overthrow of Ironsi's regime and death of Ironsi, July 1966. 7. Gowon seizes power and in consultation with only northern officers and politicians, forms government. Killings of Igbo officers continues unabated. August 1966. Ojukwu offers to confer with Gowon to end bloodshed and asks for repatriation of troops to their regional origins to lower tension. Says offer was refused by Gowon. August 1966. 9. Out of safety concerns, Ojukwu refuses to go to Lagos for meeting of the 4 regional military governors, but is still hopeful of peace resolution. August 1966. Number 10. Mass exodus of over 300,000 Igbos from the north to the east, resulting from flare-up of many riots and Igbo killings. August 1966. Ojukwu declares official day of mourning and Gowon condemns it. August 1966. Number 12. Gowon issues decree restoring the federal system and abolishing the unitary government. August 1966. 13. Regional representatives convene a conference to determine grounds for unity. Gowon opens conference with offer of 4 forms of government. August 1966. 14. Over 2,000 Igbos are massacred in Kanu on September 29, 1966 by a combination of Hausa mobs and troops of the 5th Battalion in Kanu. Further Igbo exodus. 15. A DC-4 carrying weapons to eastern Nigeria crashes in Cameroon and Henry A. Wharton, a German-American, is arrested. October 1966. Gowon suspends the Constitutional Conference, November 1966. I want to quickly take your eyes to the number 15, the one I read, as a DC-4 carrying weapons to eastern Nigeria crashes in Cameroon. It is important for you to understand the relationship between Nigeria and Cameroon. You remember that the Ambazonia leader was abducted from Nigeria, remember, and renditioned to Cameroon. Remember that. And several other unhealthy relationships that they have. Unhealthy to the people, but healthy to Britain. Okay, number 16. Gowon suspends the Constitutional Conference, November 1966. 17. Eastern region faced with resettlement of refugees, December 1966. 18. Gowon and 4 military governors confer in Aburi, Ghana. Optimism expressed about the future, January 1967. 19. Nigeria confirms the death of Ironsi. Flags fly at half-mast, January 1967. Eastern region accuses federal government of failure to implement the Aburi Accord and warns that the country is on the brink of political disintegration, March 1967. Ojukwu warns that the East will secede if invaded or blockaded. Both sides mobilize civilians, May 1967. 22. Awolowo announces that West Nigeria will secede if the East goes. May 1967. 23. Political situation deteriorates due to non-implementation of Aburi Accord. Ojukwu expresses pessimism at a negotiated settlement. May 1967. 24. As impasse continues, Ojukwu seeks mandate from Eastern Assembly to declare Biafra. May 1967. Gowon divides Nigeria into 12 states. Biafra is declared. May 1967. 26. Nigeria invades Biafra. July 1967. The Midwest operation and Biafra's military setbacks. Losses of Nsukka and Enugu, the saboteur phenomenon. August 1967. Okay. This is a very long list because it is a comprehensive list of what's happened to us, especially from 1966. From 1966, paid very close attention to the time of the war, that is the genocide against Biafrans, 1967 to 1970. So this is what it is all about. And all of these actions, they have been directly decided by Britain. The Buri Accord, as we have been told, was a way to settle the discord, a way to settle the problem that that Nigerian government created between the Nigeria and Biafran people. After the conversation was had, an agreement was reached. The British government said to Gowon, no, you must not agree to that, because by then they were looking for war. You see how they are today telling you that when you are going through a democratic process, you are going for war. That is the same thing that they were doing. A democratic process, and you say you are a democratic country, and you say that you are a democratic country, and one is asking for a democratic process that you should happily do. You should happily oblige them. You say it is a call for war because of Britain. Britain does not want to lose it's the oil and gas it is benefiting from Biafra land. Not only about the oil and gas, it also does not want to lose its slaves. Remember that today they say there is no slavery, but no, today the slavery is even worse than it used to be. Now, look at this assessment. Back in the days, slaves were chained. Today, the chain is no more physical, it is mental. The reason why they chained our ancestors and shipped them to there was because they were not able to mentally enslave them. It is very, very important that we understand this. If they were able to mentally enslave them back then, they would not have chained them. They would not have chained them. They would have just allowed what is happening today would have happened. But because today they have succeeded, they have successfully chained us mentally using religion, using the education system, using the Nigerian system. Because the Nigerian system is the foundation upon which all of this mental manipulation is founded upon. In Nigeria, churches are encouraged to open from one street to another. Whatever you have it, they have been encouraged to open up offices, looting and stealing from people. You understand that I have said this before, that whenever I am prophesied to, I become very apprehensive and suspicious. I'd rather you don't prophesy to me and tell me what is going to happen tomorrow. I'd rather you don't do that. I'd rather you just advise me and say one name, work hard, one name, GCK, and all of that. You just encourage me. That is all I need. Do not prophesy and tell me this is going to happen tomorrow and this. It doesn't matter whether you are a religious a pastor or you're Onyominala. I don't like it because it gives me that impression that, for instance, some people tell you, I was listening to somebody who said to me a few days ago that he has been given a date for a prophecy to work, and there I was thinking, what if that date? Because I have been in situations where I've been given date as well, and it didn't work. What next? You see, the way you feel heartbroken. You feel heartbroken. And you probably even lose hope. And whatever little effort you were making before, probably stop making it. Because of the way that these things have been sold to Nigerians. And when people actually tell you what is going to happen tomorrow, it doesn't mean that they have any influence over it. That is one thing people must get to understand. Sorry, I had to deviate a bit. I had to really touch on this because it is affecting a lot of people. When somebody prophesies to you and say to you, this is going to happen tomorrow, and it happens, either through prediction or through, because I sometimes when someone tells you something, it releases an energy on you. You now begin to work towards it. And when it happens, you now go to that person and say, you did this. No, the person didn't do it. You did it. You made it happen. You made it happen. Your effort. Without your effort, nothing is going to happen. Without your effort, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. So that is very important for us to understand. I had to bring that out. Britain used all these tactics, religion, education, what have you, in order to put the people in a state where the people cannot fight for themselves. The people cannot fight to free themselves. They are now slaves to the Nigerian system. Slaves to the Nigerian system, to the British way of life. And today, the chains are there on our head, in our minds. That is why when we talk about education in Nigeria, when we talk about religion, when we talk about these things, these things that deals with philosophy, you must understand where we are coming from. Because we are a product of colonialism. We are a product of slavery. We must accept that fact and work towards our emancipation, our freedom. Our freedom. We are living as if people are not slaves today. People are slaves today. Every black man is a slave today. The religion you are is not your religion. You have no input in your religion. Today they have decided that gays and homosexuals will be accepted. And in your culture, it is not acceptable. But what is going to happen? You must accept it. There is nothing you can do about it. Forget all your pastors and all your reverend fathers telling you this and that. There is nothing you can do about it because they are answerable to Rome. They are answerable to Britain, to the queen or the king now. They are answerable to them, not to you. And they will make sure that once one person, one bishop or archbishop or whatever has been cautioned, they will all fall in line. They will all fall in line. If not, why are they not going against the dictates of these their masters, these their slave masters, who are using them as the house niggers to chain you and to say, you know what, this money we are sending to you, you are using it to fund the terrorists who are killing us. We would rather use it and fund ESN. But they won't do it. They won't do it. Today is not for them. I am talking about how Britain has today managed to successfully make us slaves without us even realizing that we are. Remember that Britain is the um, during the time of the shipment. Remember that Britain was the largest slave dealer in the world. Remember that the largest, the highest slave dealer in the world from Britain. The highest from Britain. And remember that even before the first official shipment of slaves happened, the Pope had to be consulted, and the Pope now gave a go ahead. Go and do your research. The Pope had to give a go ahead before the ship called Jesus was now used to come to Africa to enslave black people. We must know these things. It is not about how you feel about it. It is about going back to your history and understanding your history. That is what it is all about. Now, there is something I was listening to a few days ago, and it reminded me of a story we were told. Growing up, we were in history, we were taught about how religion came, and because I'm talking about the slavery of the black man today, how it is being orchestrated, and broad daylight, we are seeing it happen before us. And I decided to just do a bit reading, just a little bit of a reading, not even from a very, nice book or whatever. No, just not even an old book. Like most times when I want to read about history, I go back to those books that was written around that time things were happening. Or, for instance, slavery. I go to these books written in the 17th century, in the 18th century. You'll find vital information in the 17 something books, 1770 something, 1750 something, 16 something, 18 something. You find vital information there. But of course, when I read, I don't take everything. I just have to analyze the information I take and discard the ones I do not want. Because at the end of the day, this is somebody's opinion. So analyzing somebody's point of view is also very important. The lack of doing that is the same thing that we have done for years, for hundreds of years, for over 100 years, where we have people who give you a second hand, a third hand account actually. Oh, this letter was written by Paul to who. You don't even know Paul. You don't even know what he did. You just heard a story that, hey, this guy killed Christians, and then suddenly he changed. It is like saying Eperima. Tomorrow, when we are writing the story of Biafra, you put the story of Eperima there. Yeah, and some people are saying, hey, he wrote it. They can take somebody's teachings and put the name of Ekperima because they are in charge of the publishing. And then tomorrow, people are jumping up and saying, ho, ho, ho. No, we must always scrutinize everything and pick the ones we want and the ones we do not want. However, at the end of the day, it's a book. So that is the reason for a book. So I was going through this information, and it is about Samuel Ajayi Crowther, the person that they said brought Christianity to Nigeria. And this information is from Wikipedia. You can open Wikipedia right now as I am online and search Sam Ajayi Crowther. It says Samuel Crowther, Sacra 1809 to 31 December 1891, was a Yoruba linguist, clergyman, and the first African Anglican bishop of West Africa. Now, I want you to pay attention to this person's history. The history says he was a Yoruba linguist and clergyman. Okay, so let us leave it there. It says, born in Oshogun, in what is now Ado Awaye, Oyo State, Nigeria. He and his family were captured by, listen, listen, he and his family were captured by Fulani slave raiders when he was about 12 years old. I've always said to you that uh, 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 when people say we sold ourselves, I keep asking myself, how possible is that? How, with the way Biafra land is arranged, how is that possible? You find out today that you have criminals. You have criminals. You have criminals who are abducting people in our land. You have the police that are abducting people in our land. You have them abducting people in our land. You have even people who have been sacked from the Nigeria police who are abducting people in our land. Like this one, let me find this. There is this man in Imo State who has been abducting people in Biafra land. In Biafra land. Biafra land, we know, is no longer safe. No longer safe. Abducting people in but around Nekedi Road. Nekedi Road. And he was a SARS officer. Now he's terrorizing and kidnapping our people. Terrorizing and kidnapping our people. What is his name again? Inspector Abu. Inspector Abu. Terrorizing and kidnapping our people. And you know what? There are some people, some of our people, like Ebuka, that is working with them. According to the information I received, some of our people are working with him. And tomorrow they come and tell you, no, Igbos were killing themselves. Igbos were killing themselves, and you buy into it. They said, what's the name? That those priests from Aro priest, that they were doing slavery. You see how they demonized our tradition. Those who were the custodians of our tradition, they were the ones demonized. The same thing Nigeria government is trying to do to IPOB today, trying to demonize those who were saving you. Do you think that our people, how many were the priests even? Priests, how many were the priests? You know that in the Biafran contest, in the way we live our life, everybody is a priest to his family. Then how many are Arab priests? People that are probably not even up to 6. People that are probably not so much. And they told you that those few people were the ones who were abducting their fellow people, who in Biafra land, there was nothing like anybody being kings. Kings, all these Igwe and the rest of them, and the chiefs were not even there. People who did not see authority in such a way, somebody lording over you, and people will come and kidnap you, especially people from that you know, your fellow Biafrans, and you will not do anything, and the community, your community will not do anything, and all these communities will not do anything. But from here, this is Wikipedia. It is telling you that captured by Fulani slave raiders. That is why you have today people like those ones who their grandfathers participated in slave raid, today still working with the Fulanis. That is why even today they are still working with the Fulanis. This is according to Wikipedia. I'm not adding it. You can go right now. I'm sure it might be changed very soon. You can take a screenshot. Even if they change it, the information is still out there. We can still go back and change it back to what it is, because this is what it is. It says he and his family were captured by Fulani slave raiders. This is not my main point, but yeah, when he was about 12 years old. This took place during the Yoruba civil wars, notably the Owu Wars of 1821 to Okay. It says Ajayi was later on resold to Portuguese slave dealers, where he was put on board to be transported to the New World through the Atlantic. Let me quickly go to what I want to read about. It says Crowder was freed from slavery at a coastal port by the Royal Navy's West African Squadron, which was enforcing the British ban against the Atlantic slave trade. Now, I want to say something here. You remember that, according to history, when Britain said, okay, we are banning it, the Fulanis were complaining. They were fighting. They were even saying no. They continued raiding communities. This same jihad that they are doing now, they were doing it before. This same jihad today, now, they are not raiding and putting in ships. Today, they are harvesting the organs. Today, what is going on is the harvesting of organs. So this, what some people look at today and think, oh, today is very special. The development, what happened yesterday cannot happen today. It is a lie. It is happening right before your eyes. It is just that our people are too gullible to understand and to see things as it is, to see what exactly is going on, to see exactly what is happening. Slave trade did not end. The modus operandi just changed. It's just changed. The way it operates just changed. Nothing else. Nothing else. Okay, so let me quickly go to what I wanted to bring out, especially the fact that Ajayi Crowder was not transported to wherever they wanted him to be transported to. And it says Ajayi in Sierra Leone, so he was transported to Sierra Leone. It says the liberated peoples were resettled in Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, Ajayi adopted an English name of Samuel Crowder and began his education in English. Now, my question is, why are they telling us that this man is a Yoruba man, really? It doesn't make sense that the story does not add up. You remember that Sierra Leone was a place where those who were freed from slavery were shipped to. Remember that? That it was a place where they were shipping slaves. And you must also remember that slaves back then had hierarchy. There were people that were allowed into the house. They would sit underneath the table, eat with the dogs, or eat after the dogs have eaten. Those ones were the ones working with the colonial master, their slave master, in order to subjugate the other ones that are out there in the field. The other ones that are saying we will not agree to this nonsense. They were those ones that were working hand in hand with their slave master in order to further deprive their people of their basic human rights. Now, the information that we have is that during that time, those ones who are against the master, those ones who are saying we are human beings, we cannot be slaves, whenever they run away, they escape, the master arms the house nigger, the one that works for him, to go and pursue, find him, and kill him if possible. Kill him if possible. Cut off the head. So that was the mandate, and they did it. They carried it out. They went in search, most times found them, killed them, and what have you. Now, how do you think the other ones, when it was time for them to be shipped back to Africa, the ones that survived must have been those ones who were working for the master? This is something I want you to, yes, the good ones could have survived as well. Those ones who were neither rebellious nor whatever could have survived as well. Yeah, that is for sure. But you must also understand that even till tomorrow, when the British want to work, they will still go back to those ones that they worked with their fathers, because they know them. Because they know them. They know where they are. They know where to find them. They will always go back to them to work with them, because they know them. So this man suddenly is a Yoruba man. This man never left the port. He never left the port. And remember, by then, it is not possible for you to raid somebody in Osun State, for instance. It is not possible for you to raid somebody from Oyo State, where this man is, they said is, got it from. And then you are shipping the person from some other different place, when Already, Lagos is a slave, a slave coast where they were shipping slaves from. So uh, uh, um, it is only natural that they would ship. It is only reasonable that this man was being shipped from Lagos, right? Now, why transport somebody you said you freed from Lagos to Sierra Leone? Why? How does that make sense? You freed this person, he's still in his land. You, rather than for him to go back to his home, this is somebody 12 years with the family, not even only him, family, the parents. They said the father probably died sometime later, but he wasn't part of those that were uh, uh, taken. We understand where that story, why that story is told, but yeah, how it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for me. The story doesn't add up from Wikipedia. So I am looking for somebody that will please come and give me proper information on this. And then they said he brought, and the crazy thing is that perhaps he was speaking Yoruba because he's a linguist. He's a linguist. He studied languages. He studied languages. He said here, it says here, he adopted Christianity and also identified with Sierra Leone's then ancient Creole ethnic group. He studied languages. So somebody who studied Igbo, like some of these people who are being used today to work against us, can come out and say, hey, we are Igbo. When you ask them, which primary school did you go to? They are not telling you that because there is none. Nobody can identify them in our land. When you say, okay, let us leave primary because primary is the core where you cannot even say, okay, wait, secondary, did you attend? Nothing. You cannot identify them. And they go around with, oh, I am from this state, I am from Ebonyi state, I am from that state and that state. And they are made to represent you because they understand the language. Now, let me take you to Icons News. I needed to make you understand how our education system has been. I talked about religion, how our religion, this, what I brought out now is a combination of the education and religion because religion is a fundamental part of their education system. Do not forget that your education system evolved out of religion. This is one thing we are not talking about. Your education system that you have in Nigeria evolved. It came out from religion. Do not forget that the first slave ship, first of all, took permission from the Pope. Even the Queen of England invested heavily in slave trade. And the Queen is the leader of the other religious sect called those who are today called Anglicans. From the Anglo. That means they are Anglo. So you have an education system that came out of religion, and you have religion that came out of slavery, which means as it goes, it keeps being refined in order to be subtle, in order to subtly subdue you, and you feel like, oh no, this is there is no harm in it. We are learning about Samuel Ajayi Crowder. But the information there, it is subtly telling you something different. You don't even understand the depth of what it does to you. Now, this is the role of Britain. Let us look at Icons News. It says, Britain's role in the Nigeria-Biafra war and its parallels to the Ukrainian conflict. We will be opening up the lines very soon for us to have a conversation. There is a lot happening in the news I would have loved to touch, but perhaps I will just read the headlines. But yeah. So it says, as the world watches the unfolding crisis in Ukraine, it's essential to reflect on historical precedents where external powers have influenced conflicts, often to the detriment of ordinary citizens seeking peace and stability. The Nigerian Biafran War, 1967 to 1970, serves as a poignant example of how geopolitical interests can overshadow the pursuit of peace, with Britain's role casting a long shadow over the region's history. The Aburi Accord, signed in January 1967, was a crucial attempt to reconcile the grievances between the Nigerian government and Biafra. Crafted in Ghana, the agreement aimed to decentralize power, granting more autonomy to the regions within Nigeria. However, Britain, a former colonial power with vested interest in Nigeria, played a pivotal role in undermining the accord and escalating tensions. This part here talks about the Aburi Accord, how it was the reconciliation process and how it was achieved. How the agreement, the idea of the agreement is to make sure that power does not rest in the hands of one man. And remember, Britain is the colonial power, the person that took the power as an imperialist, as a slave merchant. And they said, no, if we allow this power, now which power will they decentralize? Is that power that Britain has. Therefore, they said, no, we cannot allow it. We'd rather burn everybody in the zoo than allow this power to shift from our hands. And today, we see the same thing happening. We see them saying, we'd rather burn everybody in the zoo than to allow people to have a democratic process, come to pass. This is the state of Britain. Everything happening in Nigeria is because of Britain. Everything that you see going on in the zoo is because of Britain. It is Britain that is making sure that things do not go well in the zoo. It is Britain that is making sure. Look at the army. Look at your Nigerian armies. They are trained where? In Britain. They are trained in Britain. Your SARS. Yet, what is it that they are doing any different in order to better your life? They are only subjugating you. Would you say that that is not what they have been trained to do? Are you going to argue that that is not what they have been trained to do? How else are they meant to behave, if not the way they have been trained to behave? How else are they meant to behave? How can they be any different from their training? How can they be any different from their training? But before I bring this program before I open up the lines, I want to play a clip. There is this clip I want to play. I'm sure you have heard it. Our conversation today, we just want to use this clip as a roundup. Our conversation today is not going to be. We will have time for this conversation around this clip, around the what this person said on this clip. But for today, let's just look at. We are just looking at the relationship, slavery, and our institutions, and how our institutions are created out of slavery. Therefore, this is why we say that the foundation of Nigeria is wrong. You cannot put something on nothing. You cannot expect Nigeria to function when it is a product of slavery. You cannot expect Nigeria to function when the power that is in the hands of the colonial masters do not want to do anything in order to let go, because they are still enjoying their slaves. And today, you don't need to be forced. You know how wonderful slavery it is for them. Today, you don't need to be forced into a ship. You don't even need to be caught. The Fulani slave catchers don't even need to come and burn down your community and attack you in war and what have you. No. Now they are just there to harvest the good organs and send them. You yourself will find a way to hustle, make money, sell your land, sell your properties in order to find your way to their land so that you will be washing their old people's clothes, washing their asses. Who wants that type of life? Who wants that? You deserve a place that treats you with dignity. Yes, it is a job. You have to survive. But look at it from this wider perspective. Look at it from that perspective. If you have your freedom, you wouldn't need to go anywhere to do such a job. And even when you feel like, oh, I love this job, then you'll be doing it out of love. How many of us are doing it out of love? We are doing it because we are forced to. We have to eat. We have to provide for our families. The expectation is high on us. What are we supposed to do? How can we not go into the farms and be picking oranges and be picking mangoes today? How is it any different from what our ancestors were shipped to Europe to do? Is it because today your mouth is not covered that you are not allowed to eat fruit, but you know you are not allowed to eat fruit? It's the same law. It's just that they have removed the veil they used to cover your mouth to force you not to eat fruits. But today you know also the consequences of eating it. Today our people are in the farms doing the same job that those who were taken as slaves did. And we think we are still not slaves. It's very sad. It is really sad. Now let's listen to this clip as we open up, before we open up our lines. And remember, let me call the number so that you can take the information and be ready. As soon as I open up the line, you can start calling me. I hope your pen and paper is ready to take the line so that you can take the line and give us a call as soon as I open up the line. The number to call is +27 The number to call is +27 78 064 5457. I repeat, +27 78 064 5457. Let me play this clip and then we'll open up the lines. Also, I have a clip of the voice note of some of the victims of this this Inspector Abu, who has been terrorizing Imo State. And you have a chief security officer who is there doing nothing other than to encourage kidnapping. That is how bad it is in our land today. We'll talk about that later. Let me play this clip and then open up the line before we go into that conversation.
Rife with examples of countries that have successfully separated and developed economically. The USA, for instance, split from the UK in 1776 and has since grown into one of the world's leading economies. Belgium, too, separated from the Netherlands in 1830 and has thrived since then. And who can forget Singapore, who split from Malaysia in 1965, allowed it to transform into a global financial hub. One might argue that separation is an avenue for healthy competition for development. Cases in point are Singapore and Malaysia, India and Pakistan, and the triad of Norway, Denmark, and Switzerland. Each of these separations has led to a surge in development, with each nation striving to outdo the others. In the course of history, several nations have chosen the path of peaceful separation. East Timor, for instance, split off from Indonesia in 2002, marking a new chapter in its history. Similarly, Ireland severed ties with the United Kingdom in 1921, leading to the establishment of the Irish Free State. In 1944, Iceland chose to peacefully separate from Denmark, demonstrating that nations could part ways without resorting to violence. This tradition of peaceful separation was also evident in 1905 when Norway and Sweden decided to go their separate ways. One of the most notable examples, however, is the partition of the British India Dominion into India and Pakistan in 1947. Although plagued by communal violence, the actual process of partition was carried out through peaceful means, highlighting that even in the most challenging circumstances, peaceful separation is possible. These examples underscore the fact that nations can honorably separate from each other, fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding. But let's not forget, separation is not about war. It's about recognizing when a union no longer serves its purpose and making the decision to opt out, just as Ireland did with the United Kingdom in 1921, and as Iceland did with Denmark in 1944 with remarkable ease. It's about giving peace a chance and separating honorably. Countries have also found power in rejecting the names imposed on them by colonizers. Burma became Myanmar, Upper Volta transformed into Burkina Faso, and Gold Coast emerged as Ghana. Each of these nations took control of their identity, and in doing so, set the stage for their own development. So, what does all this mean for Nigeria? It could mean that a peaceful separation is the key to resolving the current ethnicity crisis and spurring economic development. It could mean that a friendly competition between the North, West, and East could lead to significant progress for all. In summary, history shows us that peaceful separation can lead to economic development and resolution of ethnic crises. It shows us that there's nothing wrong with opting out of a union that no longer serves its purpose, and that doing so can, in fact, lead to a surge in growth and development. It shows us that taking control of one's identity, as many countries have done by rejecting their colonial names, can be a powerful catalyst for change. This then could be the roadmap for solving the Nigerian ethnicity crisis and spurring economic development. It's a path that requires courage and conviction, but one that could lead to a brighter future for all Nigerians. As we continue our exploration, we must understand that this proposition is not just a call for separation, but a comprehensive plan, a clarion call for Nigeria to embark on a transformative journey. The potential benefits of separation and restructuring are vast, and they include fostering lasting peace, regional autonomy, and collective prosperity. This transformative journey is about acknowledging the past, understanding the present, and shaping a better future. It's about recognizing that unity does not necessarily mean uniformity, but can also mean diversity in unity. It's about understanding that separation does not necessarily mean disintegration, but can also mean restructuring for better functionality. As we move forward, it's crucial for Nigeria to consider these possibilities, to weigh the potential benefits against the potential drawbacks, and to make decisions that serve the best interests of its people. This is not just a journey for Nigeria, but a journey for every Nigerian, a journey towards a brighter future, a journey towards a new dawn.
Welcome to Radio Biafra. Welcome to Radio Biafra. The line is now open. You can call in, and we'll bring your voice to Biafran people. You can call in right now, and we'll bring you to the Biafran people on WhatsApp or direct call. WhatsApp or direct call. You can call in, and I will bring you to the Biafran people. The number to call is +27 +2 7 8. Just hold on a bit. I'm trying to sort out something so that we can open up the lines. Yeah, the number to call is +2 7 8 064 5457. I repeat, +2 7 7 8 064 5457. And remember, today we are talking about how slavery is being maintained today and how it has been inculcated in almost every area of our lives, because we are coming out from a Nigerian system that is not created for the interest of Nigerians. And today, because that system has successfully taken over the lives of the people, you find people who are now oppressing themselves. For instance, this Inspector Abu, who has been terrorizing people from Nekedi, Hiagwa, terrorizing people from Imo State. Why? Why? Why is that the case? Because he has been taught, he has been programmed by the slave masters, by Britain, that the best thing for him is for him to kidnap, for him to kill, for him to abduct his people. And this must be brought to an end. This must be brought to an end. Now, let me play you clips that I received, voice messages of his victims. Let me play so that we get to listen to them and understand their story. But before that, let me introduce this caller on the line. Okay, the caller, unfortunately, the call dropped. So, unfortunately, the call dropped. Let me see. This my system, if it is working.
Shalom to you all. Good morning, good afternoon, in your time zone. I want to bring a report from our state.
Okay. Let me bring this caller in before we go to that clip. Perhaps I'll play that clip at the end of this program. Caller, you are live. Yes, you are live on Radio Biafra. Please go ahead, introduce yourself and your opinion. Ndewo.
Good morning, sir. Mazi, I'm calling from Lagos, sir. I'm always listening to your program. My name is Valentine. So I'm gonna appreciate anyone in the O. But I see the mayor, no, I see the mayor very cheap. So I'm gonna pay line. I am not trying now. My first time calling. Let me introduce myself of more well. I'm not for. So it's in the state. Imo State is a whole, even to Haji, Ekewara, Ye, Urupu, Ye, na Bayasa, Uremu, Hanawo, Munamutumana, Gikuna, Tino, I didn't know, I would my local government, you will put a local government, you will be British, you know, trying to go. Some people are down in one, you know, probably by now. You don't have to be now, all I design hard now. And now, for. But I thank God that you can try me do now. Only bring over a line one by one. Mama Salama, Ona. So the city Kenyan one in Mela near Biafra because I'm now as a citizen, as a Biafra people. But I'm now happy member. And even make this Apple in the organ, this is Apple community radio. I want the thousand, I want the million. Or man want the thousand, I want the listener, I want the million. So Kanu what anyone in another. And we have a definition now. All the pop and play. All that's not natural because you know other government or the region on a whole, you may not hold a whole. So, you take anyone in me, now, yeah, this one, and my brother, you didn't exist for here. You didn't exist at all. I'm not going to go I'm not from Lagos from Mickey. Of this is struggling money, over my family affair. But I thank God, no much time that Kuala full because thank God, you my first time I made the radio Biafra. I'm not going to be able to Biafra. You know, Bagam for well, people Biafra, you know, so bring the brand, bad number of posta, only shine, not the Kanu, so that we don't share well. By grace of God, I'm not going to this our generation. British can never subdue us, it can never happen. So people chop Ranoma. No one for front line and I see my brother. People was there, people was there. You my first time, This number, not for next time, you go for this number. I mean, what
yeah, Mbobelam non air. Here a number in with the keyboard so that he get reach. Hello? Hello? I think we have lost the caller, but I am sure he is listening from the radio. Yeah, this is our number. You can reach us anytime we are on air on this number. you can reach us. So I will once more play the clip while we are waiting for more callers to join us. I will quickly play this clip about the information from the victims of this Abu guy that has been abducting people in Imo State.
Right now, there is a man in a police station. His name is Inspector Abu. Abu is the man replacing Abakare here now in Imo State. Abu is the one kidnapping our people, terrorizing our people, tagging them terrorists, tagging them IPOB, tagging them all sorts of things, tagging them ESN, tagging them kidnappers, tagging them anything he feel like. At the end of the day, he will keep them in their cell, in a cell where there is about 90 people. I want the whole world to investigate a police station at Naked Ihiagwa, popularly known as police post. One Mr. Abu, the Janjaweed jihadi is there, collide with some of our so-called brothers doing all sorts of atrocities. You will be going your normal businesses and normal work. They will kidnap you without trace. They will collect your phone, seize all of your belongings. Then at the end of the day, they will tell you that they are looking for you, that there is a criminal, that you are the criminal. They will seize your phone. Some of them, they will shoot them at their leg. Blood everywhere. Without taking them to the hospital, without taking them, they would drag them inside cell. Then any day they feel like, they will now start talking about that person. Or sometimes in the night, they will remove that person to a non-destination. Maybe they will continue hack their organs as before, the way Abakari did. So please, I want urgent intervention now at that station. Most of our people that we are looking for, maybe all the emailers should go there with immediate effect to look whether the people that they are looking for, maybe their loved ones that they are looking for, they might find him there. Because this man Abu is the man now terrorizing that area. He always carry what he call juju, something that in the snake form. Always. Maybe claiming that he will save him, but when it will happen, he will not be safe. This is our land, and we are not going to run away from our land. Chukwu Kikabiama have given us this land. Like our leader said, this is a holy place, and we must defend it by all costs. So we will defend our land by all costs. No man born of a woman will chase us away from our land. Abakari was here doing all kinds of nonsense. At the end of the day, Chukwu Kikabiama disgraced him. Abu is the one replacing him now. Either he die here or he will go home disgraced. There is no two ways about it. So please, I'm calling the whole Imolite, the whole Biafrans, all the lovers of freedom. His phone number, I'm going to put his phone number. Everybody should call him. Everybody should call him and warn him. Everybody should call the whole parastatals, the whole international community to know exactly what is happening here in Imo State. His number, Mr. Abu, 080 353 17307. I repeat, 080 353 17307. Had it been that I did not meet the victim, I wouldn't know what is happening here in Imo State. The victim was lamenting and crying. And I said, okay, let me go there and see by myself. What I saw was pathetic. It was terrible. Both the ones carrying, there was a guy that I saw that have this chair on his leg, very big, blood everywhere. It was smelling. Maybe it's a bullet they put on his leg. Maybe the bullet is still there in his leg. Nobody will know where he is. No trace. Immediately they bring anybody. Well, the first thing they do, they remove the contact so that your loved ones will not look for you. Your loved one, nobody will know where you are. This is exactly the way Abakari did. So we are calling the whole world, all the international communities, to investigate and know exactly we are lamenting. But one thing that is constant, we are not going to run away from our land. We'll be here and see the end of it. The whole zoological republic of Nigeria, everybody is shivering. Cost of living, cost of high cost of everything. This is the plague. Something that happened in Egypt. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is doing it here in Biafra land. They will not have rest until they release our leader Mazi Kanu. They will not have rest until they give us Biafra. Like our leader always said, he said they will beg us to go. They must beg us to go, whether they like it or not. Yorubas are protesting, they never see anything. Hausas are protesting, they never see anything. Fulanis are protesting, they never see anything. The worst will happen. This is the beginning. The suffering will continue until they let the children of light go. The plague will continue until they say, children of light, go. The epidemic and pandemic, everything, sickness, everything will continue as far as this land is concerned. It's a cursed land. When you see Nigeria, the name Nigeria, it's a cursed name.
I have a question. Good morning, Mazi. Good morning, Mazi Sochima. Good morning to you. Thank you so much. Greetings to you, my beloved brothers and sisters. People could carry our strength and we must continue. Mazi, you see, this clip you just played now, like the name being mentioned there, this is the agent of organ harvesters in our land. But we are saying that Chukwu Kikabiyama could disgrace all of them, just as he disgraced the so-called Abakari. Yes, our leader caused that idiot, and he was disgraced out of Igbo land. Another person has replaced him, the evil workers of iniquity, agent of darkness who is working with the Supreme Court window governor, the man that was not voted, but is parading himself as a governor. That Abu in question, majority of all these people, you see them working, moving on our land. They don't even know that they have a mission. Listen to what our brother is saying something in that clip. He said, when they hold you, they will tag you one thing so as to continue to persecute you. And first of all, they will deny you opportunity of contact. All these evil people who is working for the children of darkness in our land, we say that Chukwu Kikabiama will continue to disgrace you and that is the reason why your family is not progressing and you can never progress. Your family started from the zoo called Nigeria. All the things that the zoo did to indigenous people of Biafra years when they call it the Biafran Nigerian war, which is not. That is the reason why today the zoo is facing a doom, because so many people are confused. They are surprised how the zoo is moving. And remember, the zoo can never facilitate. The zoo going against innocent citizens of Biafra, they can never bless, they can never see peace. Stay in our land, doing the work of devil, killing innocent people, and you think that your own innocent brothers and sisters, your family, which you think that is innocent, will go scot-free. No, they can never, because whatever a man sow, that he shall reap. There are some our brothers and sisters who are in this army, in the police. Once they notice that you love what we are doing and you are supporting us, they will gang up and kill you. They killed a particular year, which I made a report here. That our brother is from Abo. Just because he's a member of what we are doing, he supports what we are doing. They went Yoruba police and the army, Awusa army. They went to the particular bank which he normally work in the night and killed him, because they don't want him to continue to support what we're doing. But we are telling after all these things, what is the next? Did we give up? We are promising all of you that we will never give up. And as you are doing this, you are bringing destruction to yourself. As you are killing innocent people daily, the curse will continue to follow you, because this is the innocent citizens and the land is watching all of you. Continue to do business with people's organ. This idiot now that his number is being mentioned on air, he calls himself a security officer. If you see him parading, you will think that he's a good person, not knowing that he's an agent. They are the ones selling this organ that you are hearing. They are the agent who is making all these things available to the people that need it. But we are saying, let them continue. The time will tell. Mazi, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. And do have a wonderful day. This Abu must meet his end in our land. I was just thinking, as this our brother was this caller was speaking, I was just thinking, the reason why this Abu has the guts to come to our land is because Abba Kyari went home alive. That's the reason why this Abu had the temerity to come to our land. All of them that are in our land doing very bad businesses, killing, abducting our people, they must die the same way. I mean, what else are they alive for when they are there killing and harvesting organs? They are not supposed to live. Such people are not supposed to exist. Such people shouldn't exist. It is very, very wrong for you to abduct innocent people, kill their organs, harvest their organs, and you expect to live. It is very, very bad. It is because the other one left alive. That is why when this thing happens to even 3, 4, 5, 6, none of them will want to come again. I have a caller on the line. Caller, you are live on Radio Biafra. Please introduce yourself and go ahead with your opinion. Ndeo.
Chineke, Mazi Sochima Nbanali. Good morning to you from here. My name is Desmond and I'm calling you from Italy. Mazi, am I coming out?
You are. Please go ahead. And good morning to you too. Ndeo.
What I want to say, Machineke, is that you see, I want to say this to Biafrans all over the world. Imana, when we do things, we call on Chukwa Abiyama and we pray. For example, if somebody wants to travel from Nigeria to South Africa, you pray for safe journey and favor in South Africa. But you have to do some process. You have to get visa. You have to do some other things there. You understand now? You have to follow up with some process. Your own, you have to walk to the offices of the immigration to get your passport, offices of where you do your visa, South Africa embassy. You have to go. You pay in your house, but you have to move. I believe in this our stage of our struggle. We have prayed, we've done a lot, and this is time for us to move. What is my point? My point is that all these things we are hearing, all these people killing our people in our land, both the ones in Okuzusas and the ones in Imo and the ones they call the name of, like now they say Abu. He has been identified. His number has been gotten. What do we have to do as a people? Now we now have a setup, because he says it's Nigerian security, right? We also have a setup security. And this is security to security. He has to be sent a message. And we simply tell him that we've gotten your atrocities against our people and we want you to stop or leave our land. If you want to be a good policeman in the land of Biafra. We are not having problem with you. If you want to continue to intimidate our people, then we will not allow it. If we get further reports with evidence from there, we will have to take measures to stop your atrocities against our people. It's very simple. But now there is a problem there. One, we have to get the support of our people, number one. We have to get the resources to do these things. Because these are state government agents. They are not even only state, both federal. These are Nigeria government agents in our land. Sometimes they even go beyond Nigeria. They have other, because since they harvest the organ of our people and sell, they have international backings to an extent, because these organs are being bought by some big politicians who give them international connections. They take some of our organs too. So if we don't have the necessary resources, we might have the people to do the job. But if the necessary resources are not there, then we cannot do it. It's just like a man who wants to build a house. You might have the determination to build a house, but if you don't have the money, you cannot do it. And even if you have the money, you still need workers, engineers, those who is going to help you to do. So there are a lot of things that are involved. What am I trying to say? When we tell our people over the world, they hear this complaint from our people, from our land, what is going on, and they pay deaf ears. When we say they should support ESN, because let me say something, the biggest part of this struggle lays on the shoulder of ESN. And if we don't equip them, give them the resources, how can they function? Can you run a car without a fuel? So our people have to have the mind to support ESN. You don't have to mind to do what they can do. Why can't you have the mind to support them, even if it's a little finance? Because sometimes the people don't know what goes behind the skin. It's not all. It's not even a country needs support. Nigeria now, they go to IMF, they go here, they say they want to borrow money. And when we call our people to give us small resources for us to protect our land and our people, and they refuse. Why? Because they are in America, they are in Italy, they are in Europe, they are here, and some of them will even go to antagonize and criticize us. Some of them will even want to give out important information to Nigeria, knowingly or unknowingly, against us. Why is that? Because we say, let us save our people. What am I trying to say? Because all these communities, like this police station they mention now, they mention a community, they say somewhere along, I don't know, naked, right? That is a community. Okay, it has the president general of the youth. It has a youth leader. It has the Igwe. It has many things. Why are they there and these things are happening to their people? Because they are all the same agents of the government. Because it will not get to them or their family, because the enemy will not want to touch them. Are you with me? So where does this responsibility lies? It now lies to the people to liberate and fight for themselves. And that's why we call on our people consciously to come out and support what IPOB and ESN is doing in our land. Support IPOB, support our leaders, support ESN. This not time for us to be, because the problem we have is that all these people trying to destroy what we are doing, knowingly or unknowingly, and then our people, because when two elephants are fighting, the ground suffers, there's the suffering. The ground are suffering. When they attack IPOB, attack DOS, attack attack our leader, who is suffering it? Our people, because we will now leave our people that we want to save and try to remove danger from you, remove your own danger first. What am I telling our people? Every Biafran anywhere in the world must rise up. You must be supporting ESN in one way or the other. Because everything we are saying, if you don't put a little bit of force, like our internal leader Ojukwu said, that the only way to subdue a force is to apply another force. If you don't put a little bit of force, then you cannot stop them. And there is no force in the land except only ESN. And that is why we want them to be supported, because this is a very simple issue. This one now, his number is there. Somebody that has seen him, they will get his picture. It's very simple. It's just one message. And at least, when you are doing something, even if a message comes, you've not seen anybody, but there is a message, you will know. You cannot hide forever. Because the land, look at the name, Abu, a Fulani man from Putajalon in Imo State, clean our people. Once one go, they will replace another one. We cannot continue to allow this thing. Our people must rise up to support ESN. We need that support so that our land will be protected and defended. Because all this complaint, I think this is time for us to apply some little action. It's very, very important. People will just be and they will listen, and it's as if we don't know what we want to do, we don't know what to do. Everything has been in place. What are we looking for again? Let people support ESN financially. You are an IPOB, you have a zone, you have a unit, support through your zone or your unit. Or through whenever they do fundraising, go there and support. That is approved by HODDOSO. Because our people now, they will go to the infiltrators camp and give money. You don't know your money, they are using it even to kill your own people self, if time is not taken. So please, we support through the right channel. And we also have our paper, www.ipob.org. You go there and you support. If you have difficulties, you raise alarm, and we'll find a way to sort it out. And things will be going well, and our land will be, our people will be. Then another thing I want to say is that this influx of Fulani in Enugu that you talked about yesterday, Mazi, these artisans, all these places, they are communities. What is the youth of this community doing? Are they keeping quiet? Let them rise up. Because when the people rise up, then a little support will come. They must rise up against this thing. Then lastly, all these transport companies that are taking our people into hands of kidnappers, like I have said, we keep on telling them, let them have private security, not Nigeria Army or Nigeria Police, because they are the main problem. They are the kidnappers. They work with the kidnappers. Let them have private security, or they come to IPOB and they will be giving directions on how to do to have private escorts that will be seeing our people that are traveling, because as our people should come back home, our people will travel back home through their buses. So the last time it was ABC and God is good that was attacked from Umuahia to going to Abuja, and all the people kidnapped, we've not had anything, and these are Biafrans. Now the one happened in Akure to people coming from Lagos to East, all the people kidnapped, we've not had anything. Nigerian media is not reporting it because they know they are Biafrans. Please, we must ensure that anything Fulani is to, we must follow Fulani bomber to bomber. In the road, in our community, in the bushes, everywhere, we must follow them bomber to bomber. And then by doing so, Britain will now know that their people they are using against us can no longer vie. And then they will now have to retreat. Because even Britain, if they come to Biafra land, we will follow them bomber to bomber. Because Britain, like you played that clip, the former clip you played, not the last one, now the one you played, that separation must not be all about quarrel. It will bring development. In the case of Nigeria, it's going to bring development. All this lumping people together with different ideas, different values, is making people to kill themselves. And few people are getting from it for the interest of Britain. How can we continue like this? Our people must rise up. And this is the time. So support IPOB, take your directive from DOS, and also be in guide and look after your community. And at the end, Chukwabema will give us victory. Thank you very much, Mazi Sochima Nbanali. And Elohim bless you from here.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I appreciate your call. So we are at the end of this program, but understand and remember that this is from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day. We are live on Radio Biafra 5 to 7 a.m. every day. So please ensure that you join us every morning from 5 to 7 a.m. and be part of this conversation. Be part of this conversation. Some people are asking me the number of
Blood everywhere. It was smelling. Maybe it's a bullet they put on his leg. Maybe the bullet is still there in his leg. Nobody will know where he is. No trace. Immediately they bring anybody. Well, the first thing they do, they remove the contact so that your loved ones will not look for you. Your loved one, nobody will know where you are. This is exactly the way Abakari did. So we are calling the whole world, all the international communities, to investigate and know exactly we are lamenting.
Okay, we are bringing this program to an end. Let me not wait for that. I'll just call the number. The number of this Abu is +234 803 531 7307 +234. I repeat, +234 803 531 7307. That is his number. And we have brought this program to an end, and I will be here tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be able to bring this our brother Desmond here tomorrow for a conversation, for us to have a conversation. He did mention some security issues that we need to handle. And for me, that is very interesting. And I don't know who would like to actually hear his ideas concerning this transport abduction of our people in the transport section. So after this, I will try to make contact with him. Hopefully, we'll be here having this conversation tomorrow from 5 to 7. So do not forget to join us tomorrow from 5 to 7. And when I'm on air, the number to call, I see someone asking the number to call into the studio. Mazi Okeke, the number to call is +27 78 064 5457. I repeat, the number to call into the studio is +27 78 064 5457. And that is only from 5 to 7 a.m. Right now, we are at the end of this program. Once more, I will just call the number of this Inspector Abu so that we can follow up on this complaint. The reason why this keeps happening is because they think they can come to our land and do whatever they want and get away with it. And our people must learn to rise up. When something is happening in your community, it is your responsibility to speak up and rise up for yourself. Then others will rise up for you. Even if they are not kidnapping people from your community, but it is happening in your community, you must understand that if you keep quiet, you are simply being an enabler. You are simply enabling it. And the number of this Abu is +234 803 531 7307. That is the number. This is the inspector in Nekede by Ihiagwa Road Police Post. These are the people who are abducting and kidnapping our people, according to this voice note, according to this information reaching us. We must make sure that criminality is not something that we keep pampering in our land. So thank you all very much for being part of this program today. I really appreciate your presence. I encourage you once more to go like, share, and make sure that your friends are part of this conversation. Do have a wonderful, wonderful day, and keep your head up. Mazi Nnamdi must be released because he committed no crime. There is no crime that Mazi Nnamdi committed. Rather, he's asking for a peaceful, for the conduct of a referendum even. Therefore, Mazi Nnamdi must be freed. He did not commit any crime. Thank you, and do have a wonderful, wonderful day. Ndeo.
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How would the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. So the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha famously said that if an insurgency lasts for more than 2 days, the government knows. That is the real and the truth. And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. 1 or 2 who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. They want to start a civil war in Nigeria. Don't joke with what I'm saying. I have a PhD from Oxford University. I'm a central banker. We don't talk nonsense. So don't joke with what I'm telling you. I have this from the highest possible authority, higher authorities of some of the commanders of the killers and Boko Haram.
You said northern governors, past or present, Dr. Obadiah?
No, current. No, they said one of them is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. One of them. And they are not looking for money. They have more than enough money. In fact, he told me they just came back from one of the Middle East countries in private jet, full of ammunitions and dollars.
He said, once more, I welcome you to Radio Biafra. This is Sunrise, and the time now is 9 minutes past the hour of 5 in the holy and blessed land of Biafra. Today is the 13th day of February 2024. 13th day of February. It was just yesterday that we started this new year 2024, and already we are on the 13th day of February 2024. Therefore, it is important that I make you understand how time flies. You see how this year has been going, and before you know it, it's already December, and it's 2025. Before you know it, it's 2025. Therefore, I need to encourage each and every one of us, whatever that we want to do, let us do it now. Whatever thing that we want to do, let us do it now. Let us not wait for tomorrow. The way time flies, who knows when the tomorrow is coming? The way time flies, there is no need to wait anymore. Whatever that we have to do, whatever we have to contribute towards the growth and progress, towards the success of our advancement, then we must do it now. No waiting for tomorrow. There is no need to wait for tomorrow. So once more, I welcome you. I say thank you very much for being part of this program this morning. And this morning, we will be looking at certain issues. But first of all, let me acknowledge our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. He is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as we know, is currently in the DSS dungeon. Therefore, I call for his release this morning. I call on Nigeria government to obey the ruling of various courts of competent jurisdiction, which declared the abduction and continued incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu illegal and a crime against humanity. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, was abducted from Kenya by Nigeria government on the 19th of June 2021. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was tortured in Kenya for 8 days, after which he was forcefully brought into Nigeria. And since then, he has been unlawfully held in the dungeon of the DSS in Abuja. You may recall that on the 20th of July 2022, the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention declared that the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a violation of international human rights conventions, and also ordered his immediate and unconditional release. It is such a shame that Nigeria government has continued to snub this opinion, just like they have done to the ruling of various courts in Nigeria. Various courts that discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Instead, they have pursued every effort to inflict severe physical and psychological torture on this innocent man. Now, recall that it is this same government that is today inflicting physical and psychological torture on this man that in 2017, September 14 of 2017, set plans into action to assassinate this same innocent man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is despite Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case being in their court. This was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was supposed to appear in their court. Few hours later, they attacked him to kill him. Thankfully, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu managed to escape, but the Nigeria government ended up killing at least 28 people in his home. Yesterday, one of our brothers reminded us that the number of people killed on that fateful day, on that day, was over 28. Way more than 28. A lot more than 28. And he is right. He is right. Hence, it is important to let you understand that imagine even 28 is more than enough. It's more than a lot. 28 people being killed by the Nigeria government, a terrorist government, is more than enough. That is why you wonder the difference between the Nigeria government and Mieti Yala. You wonder the difference between the Nigeria government and Fulani terrorists. Fulani terrorists are out there parading about, but those who are campaigning for a peaceful, democratic process to be allowed are in their dungeon, are being called terrorists. This is the state of Nigeria. This is the state of affairs in the zoo. The zoological republic is not a place fit for human habitation, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released as soon as possible because he did not commit any crime. It is Nigeria government that has been committing crimes against this innocent man. What crime did he commit? He asked for a referendum. And the Nigeria government say that a call for a referendum is a call for war. What type of a government is that? What type of a democratic government is that That goes to show that Nigeria is not a democratic country. That goes to show that what is happening in Nigeria is a set out plan, a plan that has been marshaled out, a plan that has been strategically done in order to ensure that the people there do not survive, in order to ensure that the people are killed, people are abducted, in order to ensure that people do not have the right to speak, in order to ensure that people are finally subjugated. This is the highest act of wickedness. This is the highest act of man's inhumanity to man. The story of Mazi Nnamdi is a story of an innocent man who saw Nigeria for exactly what it is, a crime against humanity. Because of his honesty, he tried to ensure the survival of his race. He embarked in creating awareness concerning the hellhole that Nigeria is and the hellhole that this contraption is falling into rapidly, I must say. And today, like a prophet, that's all the things that he has said are unfolding before our eyes. Nigeria is in a state where it cannot escape from terrorism. It cannot escape from terrorism. And the crazy thing is that it is the government that is propagating, funding this terrorism. The Nigeria government funding terrorism. That is why the state has been rendered incapacitated by terrorists. When you look at Nigeria, thousands and thousands of Biafrans are illegally held at different dungeons operated by the Nigeria government. Why?